Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, I'm only doing this to show you that I was right. This is that climate video I told you about. New 2018 climate geoengineering chemical documentary, Overcast. YouTube video.
That it will become possible in the next 50 or 100 years to control the weather and climate artificially.
Now, remember at the end of last year, I told you guys that I was revealing some information to you that I wasn't supposed to be revealing. I know, I'm going to get in trouble for that. A lot of trouble. But let me tell you that I was right. Ladies and gentlemen, not only was the information given to me absolutely correct, but nobody else was talking about it, but I found out that, guess what? They did report it. We're going to go down to the end of this video. Let's see. Not him. We need her. Not him. Oh, no. This is very important. Okay, so we're going to stop right here. Right there. What's happening is what they did is they got on a plane and they went and tried to test the air, and they tried to go through some of these chemtrails to get samples of the air. The only problem is they were flying too low. They needed to be above 12,000 feet, and they were only at, well, they got as high as 8,000 feet. But remember, most planes fly at 30,000, 29,000, 20,000. They don't fly at the same flight or height that the so-called Cessna planes fly. And so they had to get permission. Well, when they went up this time, I'm gonna let him tell it to you. Second flight, they did it once, but they didn't go high enough. They still pulled up some particles, but they needed to do it again in order for the test to come out. See how high them clouds are? Them chemtrails? And you see how they have to wear the oxygen mask? Because their plane is not pressurized.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to this info meeting. Despite persistent trails in the sky.
Hold on. That's the guy that's speaking, okay? But hold on, let me explain before he says it. That's why I like this video, because he even spoke about his mistakes. He even spoke about the things that didn't pan out the way he assumed it was going to go. He told the truth.
We were unable to confirm the first test results. At 8,500 meters above sea level, the air traffic controller wouldn't allow us to get higher, and we were unable to fly into a trail again. Although we took up 70 liters through the filter, the analysis showed sodium, potassium, and ferrous oxide. But unlike the first time, no barium. Further measurements would be necessary because many questions still remain open. Questions that should be answered by public authorities and by scientists, and not by us, the citizens.
Dagnabbit, how dare they sit up there and send them up in a day at a time?
The phenomenon is real, and the question is, do we still want a man-made covered sky on allegedly sunny days? As for myself, not for a moment more.
Now, in the last video, I complained about just that, about how when I was a kid, how the sky was completely covered on a sunny day where we should be seeing the sun, but we couldn't because of the so-called low clouds, okay? When those are not clouds. Those are man-made clouds. They're chemically induced clouds. Now, he said, look, we went up a second time. We weren't able to find any barium, any aluminum. We found just the basic stuff. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's because they received approval to go up this time. So they received approval and they made sure that all the planes that were going up that day went up higher, not lower. That's why all of the chemtrails are way above them. Before, They asked to go up at a certain height because that's where the chemtrails were the first time, and they couldn't get up there because they didn't have clearance. So when they asked to get clearance to go up to where the chemtrails were the first time, all of a sudden the chemtrails are a lot higher now because the planes were flying higher this time and they're near the airport. That's the point. They wanted to pick it up near the place where the planes were taking off, but of course they can't go where the planes were taking off because that's where the planes are taking off. Okay, so they had to do it further away, and they had to get clearance for that so that they wouldn't interfere with the landing and the taking off of the planes. So of course when they set it up on a day where they could not get anything. That's why they got a false negative.
Therefore, I think it is time for an official and independent scientific investigation.
Don't you all think the same thing? So, guess what they did, y'all? Somebody heard him. They didn't actually do it because they wanted to, but they did it. Okay? Somebody heard him, and guess what they did, y'all? Let's go over here. That's her right here. Now, she gonna let y'all know who she is.
Completed. I heard about a sensational study of the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology.
She's Swiss! She's full of cheese. That's why she's on the roof. Just kidding.
My name is Ulrich Lohmann. I'm a professor for atmospheric physics here at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, and my special field is clouds.
She studies
clouds.
clouds.
That flight traffic is growing by about 5%, and because flight traffic increases, it is also important to perform measurements of aircraft engine exhaust. We know that aircraft engine exhausts contain soot and particulate matter, but we actually wanted to know the chemical composition.
That's a lot of exhaust matter.
Are very rare.
Need to get a small check.
2 years ago, we had the possibility.
Now, I want you guys to understand, this was unique. They were a government agency. They received permission in 2012, because this video was done 2014. They received permission 2012 to go to an actual airport where the actual exhaust from the airlines, because I told people, I said it, she's going to tell you where the chemicals are.
To measure aircraft engine exhaust at Zurich Airport, together with the Federal Office of Civil Aviation. And there, we could basically measure the chemical composition of aircraft engine exhaust.
Let's stop right here.
Hold on.
See, this right here, all this is where I used to work. And where's the tractor? This is in a different country, so then we ain't gonna have the same type of tractors, but this would be similar, but this ain't the tractor I'm talking about. I don't see the tractor, y'all. The tractor that pulls the plane to the gate, but I promise you they out there. This is the area I used to work, okay? This is how I used to do things, but this one is different. You see how they bring this out to the plane? So they don't have the tractors. This is the one where the pilot brings the plane and they bring this to the door. And then the people walk all the way up here back into the terminal, okay? But this is me. I used to ride on here. There are certain lines. Certain lines mean you go in one direction. You go down the wrong direction against the wrong line, you can get a ticket and you lose your job. Okay? You go over the speed limit, you lose your job. They have speed limit. Then they got the airport police who will ticket you. Yeah, that's right. They actually operate in the airport, because what happens is because of the planes taxiing down the runway, you cannot pull in front of a plane taxiing down the runway. You have to sit back and you have to wait. The plane has the right of way. I told you I know what I'm talking about. Let's go home. Oh, but let me let you guys know something. When the vehicles that bring the mail, because your mail, the reason why your mail gets to you within 3 days is because they put them on plane. The vehicle that brings the mail and that goes out of the airport, they don't check those vehicles. They get to come in unchecked. They could be loading anything onto these planes, people. I'm not joking. I'm telling you the truth. If somebody wanted to put a bomb on a plane, they would do it through one of the workers, one of the maintenance workers, because remember, they have to fuel the planes. They bring the vehicles into the airport to fuel the planes. If they wanted to do something to the planes, they bring it on the food carts. Okay, sorry, just the way it is. Not telling people, not giving people ideas. I'm letting you know how unsecure airports are. They put you guys, when you go through these terminals, through all of that bull crap, to make you feel like it's safer, but you don't know that there is very few people manning those gates. There's just basic security, and they don't screen everything. Just letting you know. All right. Tell it to them, young lady.
And what we found were mainly soot particulates, pure carbon that is also emitted by cars.
Okay, so all they found when they did their test at the airport, just carbon monoxide, just carbon. You know, the basic stuff that cars put out of their tailpipe. So the airlines, man, those things don't need no small check at all. Those things are running so efficient, they're running better than cars. That's exactly what they found. So there's no reason for us to listen to anything else. Oh, I hit it by mistake. I'm sorry.
But we also found metals.
Wait, whoa, wait a minute. You found metals at an airport? Yeah, the airplane is made out of metal and other, polymer and all that other stuff that they made out of that stuff, polymers, and so because they made out of that stuff, you're gonna find metals. There's metal connecting the wheels to the airplane. Oh, those are not the type of metal she's talking about. Well, what type of metal? What you mean? Start the video. Man.
In the aircraft engine exhaust, we detected 16 different metals.
Wait a minute. Hold up. In the exhaust coming from the airplane? This is just a regular airplane? You found 16 different, metals? Excuse me. Hold on. Wait, hold on. I don't understand it. What's metal doing inside the exhaust of an airplane? Why do you need metal? Metal don't burn. Unless it's that thermite like they used in the World Trade Center. Shh, don't tell nobody. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, they found 16 different types of metal particles. Nano particles in the exhaust of the jet fuel. Hold on.
Among others,
barium.
We also found aluminum and barium. From the kerosene, from engine lubricant oil, and aluminum can also come from the turbines.
She said that aluminum can come from the turbines, the metal wearing away. It could also come from the kerosene or the jet fuel. But hold on, watch the quantities they found. Oh, barium can't come from that. Where barium gonna come from?
We made measurements from the jet fuel as well, and noticed in the range of parts per millions that the jet fuel contained aluminum and barium.
So wait, hold on, y'all. The aluminum and the barium. Where you at, Barry? Okay, bad luck, Barry ain't here. Ladies and gentlemen, of course it's going to have lead. Of course it's going to have iron in the fuel. But there is no reason for aluminum and barium to be in the jet fuel. And take a look at the parts per million that the aluminum is in. Aluminum. Shouldn't be any aluminum in the jet fuel, people. Especially not at no 3.8 parts per million. But hold on, let them explain.
Aluminum and barium in the jet fuel? For over 10 years, this was, according to scientists, entirely impossible and absurd. And now it seems that these toxic substances are really...
Hold on. Some of y'all saw the earlier video. Hold on, that's when they did their first test. Before they did their first test, where you at? Not him, not them, not him. No, that's the Senate and them telling him that there's no such thing. I want to find the guy who says that it just simply ain't so. Oh, we got to go over here then. He's going to talk to an actual state employee. I think it's before this. Hold on. Not there. Nope, it ain't before this. That ain't him either. Yeah, it's after. That's the first test. That's her. She says it's a fib, that it doesn't exist. There's no reason to check for those particles. Doesn't she look like Walter from the IT department?
Be concerned?
No, there is no reason for concern. This chemtrail theory is baseless. In Switzerland, random extensive dispersal of chemicals is forbidden. Furthermore, airspace is so strictly controlled.
Hold on, do you know why he did this video, people? Do you know why at the end he placed that lady at the end? The one who works for the Switzerland government? She works for the Switzerland government. The Switzerland government did a test after this interview, by the way, and they found barium and aluminum in the fuel, which is also in the exhaust, which means that it's part of the exhaust of the planes. So it is chemtrails, but not coming as a result of the ice particles, completely separate. Notice what she says.
That it wouldn't be possible to do it secretly, as many claim. Therefore, it is impossible.
It is not possible for them to do it secretly because they're not doing it secretly. It's in the jet fuel. Nobody's doing anything secretly. They mixed it in the fuel. It's mixed in your gasoline, in your kerosene. It's in your Coca-Cola bottles, people. Don't get me wrong. Let them do the testing, but they've already done the testing. They've already shown that there's all kind of particulates in Coca-Cola and the other beverages. You better believe it. They're poisoning you left and right. So look, ladies and gentlemen, so what? You don't drink Coke. I don't drink Coca-Cola. I don't drink any carbonated sodas. As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, I don't drink any sodas. I don't drink any drinks. I don't even drink alcohol. Oh, you're a square. You better be L7 square this. Okay, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter. You can't get away from it. You guys who are doing the detox is designed to take away heavy metals. Aluminum, nano aluminum, is nanoparticles. Barium, nanoparticles. When you hear about how aluminum binds to fluoride, those of you who drink tap water, when you hear how aluminum, the nano aluminum binds to fluoride, making it even twice as deadly, okay? But I told people they're putting it in the fuel because we were trying to figure out how they could affect everybody. Well, these planes fly all over the world. I'll fly 3 times around the world without missing a beat. I'm sorry, nucleus. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's how they're poisoning everybody. Yes, it is poison. When somebody deliberately gives you a substance which they know to be toxic, that's called poisoning. And this is being done on purpose. They're going to come up with an excuse as to why they have aluminum and barium in our products. But hold on. You're wondering, how do they protect themselves? Do you know those physicals the president goes to all the time? That's how they protect themselves. They already have a quote-unquote antidote. You don't have it because you haven't done the scientific research, okay? This was designed, people. This is geoengineering. Do you understand what geoengineering? That's where underknow came from. Understand and geo, underknow. Do you understand what geoengineering is? Do you understand what engineering is? It means to design, ladies and gentlemen. They designed this. So let's let this woman, who is obviously lying, let's hear what she's got to say.
This theory has no foundation.
And are there any scientific studies to which you could refer me?
No, there are no scientific studies on the subject.
Wait a minute. This is 2014. The test that was conducted, we just discovered that test was conducted 2 years before this video was done. So there was a scientific study. So she says, no, there wasn't a scientific study. And I've already showed you her posture in her head, how she's defensive and how she's shaking her head back and forth. And how when he asked his question, you see, he's in a defensive stance, but his question is not defensive. His question is, you can't play me. I got you on video. So go ahead, do the PR thing.
The fact that there is no foundation. There's no reason for an investigation either. The German
Look at how tense her neck is. Look at how tense her neck is. This is very stressful to her. And now she's thinking about how to respond back to him, but she's still in a defensive, 1 foot back, 1 foot forward. That's a defensive posture. It's stuff people do subconsciously. Okay, you see how her eyes are closed right now because she's trying to think while she's on her feet. A lot of people can't do that. She's one of them. Let's see what she has to say.
The Federal Office for the Environment made a fact sheet that was published in the internet where they came to the same conclusion as we did. The German
They came to the same conclusion as she did? You're not a scientist. Hold on.
An aerospace center has been undertaking measurements for years where they measure the air quality, and the results also show that there is nothing.
We have frequently done chemical tests.
Well, we're not going to play this again. We played this in the last video. You guys can go watch the video. It is a nice video. I've watched the whole thing, as you can see. I literally watched it from beginning to end, and that's unusual. I don't watch any of these videos from beginning to end. But this one, this guy backed up everything he was saying. And then at the end, he actually told people we weren't able to discover anything. But we came across this, and look at what they discovered, okay? It's in your fuel. It's in your food. And because they're geoengineering insects such as bees, the bees pollinate your plants. See, all of those who are going organic, you need bees, people. You need bees. The bees, got a bees, okay? So you need bees. Well, the bees have been artificially created, artificially placed in the environment. You guys know about it. You know that they have done the genetic manipulation of bees and of mosquitoes, the artificial bees, the artificial mosquitoes. You know about that because you heard about Zika. What was the way they were going to get rid of the mosquitoes with the Zika outbreak? Were they not going to influx the entire islands with artificial mosquitoes that were supposed to kill off the other mosquitoes? And it always backfires, always, just like it backfired then. So now you all know that you are all trying to figure out ways of how to protect yourselves and your family. I'm sorry. I told you all that something was coming. I told you all this is what they're planning. They're doing this on purpose. They put it in your gasoline. They put it in your kerosene. They put it in your jet fuel, your diesel fuel, your rocket fuel, your train fuel. Everything that operates off of some type of combustible fuel, it's there. Why? Because they regulate it. And in the regulations, they require certain things to be added. So even the people working in the actual factory doesn't know why. Because they will give it its own little unique scientific name, which doesn't actually say aluminum, which doesn't actually say barium. They'll mix the aluminum and barium together and call it something else like phosphate acid. Okay? This is their game. It's too late. You can't stop it. It's already been put in motion. Some of you are going to get focused on the wrong stuff. You're going to be wanting to figure out how to stop them. You can't stop them. This is global. This is not local. This is the United Nations involved. This is the so-called Masons and their illumination nations. There's nothing you guys can do about this, no matter how hard you try. It's already been prophesied that this was going to happen. Sorry. Those of you who don't believe that, I promise you, give it some time. You're going to be saying, that was right. I promise you. And I'm going to be saying, no, I wasn't right. The God I serve was right. Because he's the one who told y'all this was coming. And y'all didn't prepare yourselves. Sorry. All right. I just did this video because I wanted you guys to see that at the very end, this young lady, oh no, we don't want that in. That's the very, very end. We don't want that. We want her, where she says, her words, come on.
We made measurements from the jet fuel as well and noticed, in the range of parts per millions, that the jet fuel contained aluminum and barium.
The question is, how come nobody ever measured the jet fuel prior to this? This was a government agency, so they literally couldn't stop them. Is this everything? Did she get in trouble because of this video? I don't know, people. All I know is that now you know that they're doing nano aluminum particles. You're breathing it in every single day. You guys who are going out jogging, trying to be in shape, that aluminum is attaching to your membrane walls of your lungs, your brains, every last one of you, because that's where it works itself up to. And the barium, oh, it does its own job. Barium is a byproduct. Barium is a, I want to say carcinogen, but let's just make sure you understand. Do your research. Find out what nano aluminum is and what are the side effects for barium and nano aluminum. And find out what happens when nano aluminum and fluoride have a relationship when they meet for the first time on periodic table dating services. Okay? And see when those periodic members come together and meet periodically. And then you'll understand what you're up against. So you want to do organic food? Sorry. The air, it seeps in. These particles actually seep in as if they are water to the skin of the leaf, of the plant, of the vegetable, of the animal, of the human, of the insect. So you can't escape it. Well, how did they escape it? Because they already created something to protect them from, and they all get a dose of it because they're part of that society. The only problem is they don't realize it's going to backfire against them. Now you're being told in advance it will backfire against them. It will backfire against them, and it will create the largest, greatest crisis this planet has ever experienced. They are too smart. They don't think that this is going to interfere with anything. They think that everything's going to be all right. Okay, like Naughty by Nature. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right now. Okay, they think that everything is going to be all right. They think they've already figured out everything. And you know, anytime a man thinks he has it all figured out, you always know it ends up costing him. And watch and see how much it's going to cost him, you, me, and everyone else. This is a world crisis, not just a United States crisis. This is happening around the world. This study was done in Switzerland. Switzerland doesn't have as much, a larger population than we have, and it doesn't have as many planes as we have. And why do you think China's been bellowing out so much pollution all of these years? Why do you think the Fukushima nuclear plant is still melting down to the center of the earth? Why do you think it's still melting down? Why do you think it has never stopped, and why do you think nobody's talking about it? Go ahead and do your research. See if I'm wrong. I haven't looked. I promise you, I have not looked since the last time I did a video, which was more than 5 months ago. But go and take a look and see that the Fukushima, the Nakatomi Center, Fukushima nuclear plant is still melting down. I'm not going to do it now because I want to end this before we get to 30 minutes. So I'm not going to look it up now. I'm going to let you guys look it up. But as I told you, I was right. They're poisoning you through the fuel and through the other chemicals in your foods. The only problem is I was told that I couldn't say anything. And the fact that I'm saying something, nobody's going to listen. But these videos, my hope is that they'll still be around for when the time comes and everybody, well, he did warn us. Shoot, he ain't never lied in none of his videos. He was always right. I should have listened to him. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good day. Have a good life. Have a good night. I'm going to good night sleep. Goodbye.